Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly whip and chat, and if you are not familiar with that, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on this diamond painting, so grab something that you would like to work on or treat this as a podcast and let's get started. Welcome everybody. I hope that everyone has had a good start to your week and that you have had a nice day, and want to thank all of you that are here, whether you are a new subscriber or you have been here for a while. I really do appreciate all of you. It just makes me so happy when I go in and look and see that others are viewing my channel, and it just really warms my heart whenever I am looking, and if I get discouraged, I can just pop on to my YouTube and I can see that I may be discouraged in real life, but my YouTube, I have a lot of friends here, so I am really thankful for that. We have just been going crazy around here, so it's nice just to be able to pop in and see a bunch of happiness. I am continuing to work on Dragon Seasons, and I have actually found my Dragon Seasons pin from Leopard Leatherworks that I had purchased, and then I guess I boxed it up again. So I'm still using my MTN Inspirations pin, and hopefully I will be able to get to that one before I finish this, but if not, that's fine too. I am using a Diamond Art Club tray. I had gotten this from the Mini Dazzles set, one of the sets that I had purchased, and I'm really liking this tray, guys. I can see why that so many have been purchasing the pastel trays that Diamond Art Club recently released, because if it's anything like these trays that came with the Mini Dazzles, these are really nice. I wouldn't mind purchasing some of those, but I have plenty of trays. I have my tower. I have my catered art that I use quite often, the tray bricks, so I just don't need any other ones, but these are really nice trays. I have had a very busy week, productive but busy, and also had a lot of other things that was going on that I'll have to really tell you guys about. It's been crazy. I don't even really know where to start, but I do have some notes, so that's at least a plus. We did close on our house on Friday, and we closed later in the afternoon, so we had plenty of time to get some things done during the day. We actually went to the house and met our realtor an hour before closing, just as a final walkthrough, which I don't understand why we did it then, because if anything was wrong, it would be, oh well, too bad. It's too late now. But we did the walkthrough, and it was really funny because we actually had found this house on our own. It was not through our realtor, and we just told her that we found a house, we really liked it, and we wanted to put a contract on it. And this was over a month ago, and it was really funny because she had shown us so many houses, and then we found one on our own, just happened to have found this house. It was, when we found it, we were just driving around doing some errands, and a notice on my Zillow had popped up saying that there was an open house. And so we were just in the area, and we thought, why not? We haven't seen this area before. And so we went to the open house, and then we kept going back and forth. So we really liked this area, and the house was a little more expensive than what we wanted to pay on it. And then about 6 weeks later, it popped up on my feed again, and they had reduced the price. So I immediately called my husband and I said, they're having another open house. They've reduced the price. And so we started talking about it, and he's like, do you really like that house? And do you like the area? And we went and drove by it again. We couldn't go in because it wasn't open house that day, but we decided we'll go ahead and we'll look around the neighborhood. And then we fell in love with the neighborhood again and decided, okay, this is something that we want to pursue. We we texted our agent. And so after we had put the contract on it, we had everything done. She had never seen the house. When we had things done, the inspection and the appraisal done, she had one of her assistants to go because she was in the middle of something, and they actually went and opened it for her. So she was really excited to see it. She even thought it was a new house, and it's not. It's an older home, but it's been just about completely renovated. There are some things now that we've closed and we've really gotten to get in there and, really looked. There's some things that, we want to do. There's some paint that they kind of just half did on some things. So we're gonna repaint anyway. We want a different color. So that's going to be done. We got plenty of time, but there's nothing that has to be done that is going to be very costly unless it's something that we want to upgrade. And we've been talking about some things. Again, it's nothing that has to be done immediately, thank goodness. So we are definitely excited about that. And after the closing, we went back over there. We actually went back home first. We got a load of some of my husband's tools and different things that he wanted to go ahead and move over. And we made a couple of trips on Friday. Not very many, really, but just a couple of trips on Friday. And then we ended up on Saturday, we ended up making numerous trips over there. I got several of my boxes for my craft room over there, and that was really nice to get it out of my craft room that I'm currently in, and then that will give me more room to finish getting everything else together and seeing what all exactly that I have, where I can put my furniture. My husband did move all of my Cadillacs for me, which are cubes. It's a cube system from IKEA. So he moved that on Sunday. So that took us a while on Sunday to get all of that done. And I think I'm going to really like my room. I keep moving things around before I started unboxing a few things to see how I wanted it. And I really think I'm going to like it. It's in the basement again, which I'm not really crazy about being in the basement, but it is a good size space. I am really going to miss my window that I have in one of the bedrooms that we're using in the rental for my craft room, because it's really nice. I can see outside while I'm diamond painting, and I'm not just downstairs kind of it's not a dark room, but it's not real bright. So I'm going to have additional lamps I'm going to buy. I'm going to make it really homey looking and just really cute, and just a place that I'm going to love to go to. And I didn't do that at our last place. So I know that since this is going to be our final home, at least that's what the plan is that I'm going to make it very colorful. I'm not going to have my walls pink, so that way I can add just different elements and different things for my craft room to be a place of joy and a place that I can go just to get away. And once that is finally completed, it's going to be a little bit. Once that's finally completed, then I will have a tour, show you guys around. But it's probably going to be at least a month or two before that's done, because we'll have to get the house together once we do move. But I am really excited about it. We did go back over on Sunday just to make notes of some things that we'd like to do and that we want to purchase. And I do need a door for my craft room. And so my husband asked me, what kind of door do you want? And I told him I want a barn door. I've always wanted a barn door. And he just kind of rolled his eyes. He's like, I just hate installing a barn door. He said it can be done, but I'm not real crazy about it. And so I asked him, will you do it for me? And so he said, yeah, I'll do it. And so that's on his list. I don't know when that's going to be done. It will probably be a while. If I got just a simple door, it probably wouldn't take very long. But of course, I want a barn door. And so that's going to be on his list. So I'll eventually get a barn door for my room. And then I do want some more shelving. I need to decide how I want to do my diamond paintings. In our last house that we owned, I had my diamond paintings was in the basement. It was in a different room from mine. It was more of like a utility room. And so I went ahead and I didn't have the diamond paintings in the same room as me, which worked out better. I didn't see them, which I didn't have to look at them all the time and think, wow, I got too many. And you'll get kind of a little bit of anxiety with all the diamond paintings that I have, but I'm not going to be able to do that where we are, because if I put it in the garage or another section of the basement, which I could, my husband is using the other side of the basement that is garage slash basement. And so he's going to be using that for an office. He's going to enclose an area and he's going to add some heat, and we're going to get new doors for the garage because they're not insulated, and it is bringing in a lot of cold into my room as well as into my husband's area. But because he's going to be down there, there's only one place I could put my diamond paintings, and that's under the stairwell. And I could do that and it would be fine there, but it's very dark down there. I wouldn't be able to see, and I couldn't get all the diamond paintings on a shelf that I'm going to be using. So I decided I'm going to have a bookshelf in my craft room and do it that way. So I had to leave an area open so I can get a couple of bookshelves and then to put my diamond paintings on it. So the plan is for my diamond paintings that whenever I get those moved over, and I'm going to work on those with my best friend this weekend, I am going to try to get this done before Saturday. I don't know if I can, but I want to go through, make sure all that my diamond paintings are on my Gems Flow app. And if you're not familiar with Gems Flow, it is an app that you can include all of your diamond paintings on. It is very helpful. You can even upload a photo of your diamond painting, which that's what I do, is I upload just a small photo so I can see what it is. I also put where it came from, and I put the artist. So if I'm looking for something particular, I can easily go and find that. So I need to upload it or review it desperately. And the ones that I have sold, I didn't keep up with taking those off of GemFlow. So I just ended up, to make it easier, and now I don't know if it's easier or not doing it this way, but I've already done it. So to make it a little bit easier on myself, I just went ahead, I want to make sure that's correct, is that I deleted everything that was on my GemFlow app and I've started all over. And as I am moving my diamond paintings from the closet here and also from the garage here into my car to take over to the other house, I have decided that I am going to first upload it on my Gems Flow and then put it in a pile. They'll be ready to go over to the other house. So that way everything is on my Gems Flow. Then eventually I'm going to go to my Gems flow, and then I'm going to update my Excel spreadsheet. And that's going to be another undertaking. That will be done after a while. I'm not going to be in a hurry for that. The only thing with Gems Flow is that, and I've had this happen before, which is why I hadn't really kept up with it like I should have, is that if you don't log in and create an account with Gems Flow and you lose Gems Flow for some reason, or if you have to purchase a new phone, with my phone, I have an iPhone, it did not transfer over into my new phone. And so I just said, forget it, I'm not going to do this. And this was like a couple of years ago, and I just haven't bothered with it. But now I really want to get organized, and I need to be organized. So I'm going to take care of that. So that's another thing that I need to do as part of my organization for this year. These I have in a bag. There's too many of the whites, and so I'm just pouring them back in the bag. I'm going to get another color. And I just opened this section. It's kind of a large section, so I'm kind of all over, but you should be able to see everything. So that will be part of the organization that I'll be able to mark off that my Gems Flow app will be updated. And my best friend is going to come over. She has an SUV, so she's going to come over this weekend, and she's offered to help move some things. And so my husband said either move the books in Pages library, or go ahead and you can get your diamond paintings done. So I'm going to aim for both. I don't know if we can get all of that done or not. Probably not, because that is quite a bit. And I don't know how heavy the books are going to be. I can make them to where they're not. But Paige has a lot of books. But I really would like to get my diamond paintings over there. So I think if we make a couple of trips, I think we'll be okay. And it's only like 5 miles from here. It's not very far. And then I think she might even spend the night over there. It'll just be us girls. But the only downside with that is that we don't have any furniture over there yet. We do have a table, an outside table that we can bring in. So we'll have a table that we can use. But we don't have any beds or anything. We do have some blow-up beds, which I'm not real fond of. And I do have some really thick foam that we can put on it, which should help. And it's just one night. She said she was fine with it. So it'll be myself and my best friend. And then I've invited Paige, but Paige said, I'm not sleeping on the floor. I've done that before and I don't like it. Well, I'm like, you are 23 and we are in our late 50s. And my best friend is a little bit older than I am. And I'm like, okay, we can sleep on the floor. I think you'll be fine. I can make you a really nice area, put some of that foam on there. We have really thick foam that was from carpet that we had installed, and we had a lot of it left. And she is just not interested. So I'm like, well, maybe you'll change your mind. And so Dave told her, my husband said, I don't blame you, Paige. I wouldn't want to sleep on the floor either. So I don't know. We'll decide. She'll decide what she's going to do. It's totally up to her. And I'll get that done. So at least that'll be another part of my craft room that will be finished. So I'm hoping to get that done this weekend. And then next week, the following weekend, the end of the month, I'm going to be gone all day Friday, all day Saturday, and part of the day on Sunday with work out of town. Was not really good timing, but nothing I could do about it. It is what it is. And so my husband's going to be doing some things, moving some things. He doesn't have to have me to help him. So that's definitely a plus, that he won't need me. And she'll be doing some things while I am with work. And then on Sunday when I get home, I can go back over there and see what needs to be done. But I went over yesterday, which was Monday. I had planned on filming, getting this done, getting some other videos done, but it just did not happen. We had a major issue, and so I'll go over that shortly, yesterday, and so I just wasn't able to. So I am unfortunately filming this the same day that I hope that it does go out. It is very early in the morning, so I should have plenty of time to get this out by 4 o'clock, which is about the time that I have been uploading, is around 3 or 4. But anyway, I did go over there yesterday. I was working and I had a seminar that I just had to listen to. So I had the seminar going. I was able to empty about 5 medium-sized boxes in my craft room yesterday. Most of it is card making supplies or memory keeping supplies. And I did have some diamond painting supplies that I had over there, some trays and different things that I had boxed up, but not very many. I did get my paint gem minis over there, and I like how I'm going to store them. There's a lot of them, but they all fit where I was hoping that they would in a container. So that's done. And then the house is nice and clean. It even smells new, which I love the new smell. And I do need to get some rugs, some area rugs, especially downstairs, because in my room, there's not carpet. And I would like to just have some area rugs. That'll also make it more lively and more fun to go down into the basement. So I was down there all day yesterday, well, half the day yesterday, and then I got a call from Paige. Oh my gosh, guys, I got the worst call ever from my daughter. And for those of you that might be new or you just don't know, my daughter Paige is 23. She is, for the most part, self-sufficient, but she could never live on her own. She doesn't have enough cognitive skills for that. And she is autistic. She also has a mild learning disability. But this girl can bake. She loves to bake cookies. It's one of her favorite things to do. And she is very good at it. She is very careful. She's never had any problems whatsoever. And so we have told her that she can bake while we're not home if she is very careful and if she stays right there with the oven. And so we trust her completely with baking and with us not home. Well, yesterday I was over there busy grading some papers, taking a break and grading some papers, and she called me, and I could tell she was really upset. She wasn't at the point of being hysterically upset, but she was very upset. And so, of course, that scared me, and I calmed her down a little bit, and she said that her cookies were in the oven, they were smoking. And she said, I don't know what happened. She said, it was fine. And then she said, all of a sudden, she said, my cookies are in the oven smoking. And I said, did you turn the oven off? And so she said, yes. She said, but the oven will not cut off. And I'm like, what do you mean it won't cut off? And she said, it says error. And she said, it keeps getting higher and higher on the oven. And I thought, oh no. And I said, well, go ahead and take your cookies out. And then once you take the cookies out, I said, go ahead and just take them out and then see, turn the oven off. See if you can get the oven to turn off. And so she tried that. She called me right back and she said that the oven would not cut off. And it said it had an error message, and then she started crying. The fire alarm started going off, and she said the house is getting really smoky. She said, now my cookies are on fire. And I'm like, and you can't get the oven off. And she said, no. And she's like, what do I do? And she was just crying. She was getting to where she was about to have an anxiety attack. And I thought, she cannot. We've got to get through this. And I said, look, I am leaving right now. I'm stopping everything. And I said, you need to call the fire department. And then she got all confused and she said, I don't remember our address. What's our address? What's our address? And so I'm like, oh, this is so not good. So I said, I'm going to get off the phone with you. I want to stay on the phone with her. But I'm like, I got to get off the phone with you. I need to call the fire department. And I told her, I said, you need to go outside. You need to put Molly outside in the backyard, our dog. And I said, if you can get the cat, you need to take her out with you. If you cannot get the cat, just leave her. You need to get out of the house. And so she was able to get the cat. She went outside. I called 911. I've never had to call about a fire before. I called 911 and I was really calm, surprisingly, although my heart was beating way too fast. And so I called the fire department. I told them, I said, look, I am on the road, because they asked me, where's your location? You're driving, right? And I said, I am. I said, but my daughter, I told her what happened. And I said, something is wrong with the oven. I told her to leave the cookies in there because if she were to open the oven, the cookies are on fire. She's going to catch herself on fire. And I said, I know how she would be. I said, I just told her to go outside. I said, I'm on my way home. I need a fire truck out there now. And so I told him, she's autistic. She understands everything. There's not a problem with that. I just wanted to let you know. And so apparently, I don't know if this is like something normal because I've never had to do this before. I don't know if it was because I said the word autistic and that she was special needs. I have no idea. But I got home right when the fire department got there. Well, the sheriff's department came. There were 2 sheriff's cars. So there's actually 3 sheriffs here with two cars. One of the sheriffs got here right before I did and before the fire department got here. So the sheriff's department, one of the sheriffs went in, told her that it was fine. He got the cookies out of the oven, threw them outside in our backyard and onto our patio. Well, the cookies were completely burnt. You couldn't even tell what it was. It was all soot. So now we have soot all over our patio out there. My husband's going to have to get his steam cleaner and steam the patio this today, or probably maybe wait until the weekend. He did clean it, so it's just got some black soot that's stained, but it'll come up. And so he got the cookies outside. Then the fire marshal comes in. When I get here, the fire marshal was already in the house. He went in with 2 other firemen, and they were all in their gear. They had their mask on. I mean, it looked like we were just on fire. It looked pretty bad. So when I got here, there were 2 fire trucks here. One was a ladder truck, so they had numerous firemen here. And then there was two of the fire units. They drive like regular trucks. They were here. Ambulance was coming up behind me. I thought, oh my dear Lord. And then there was a ladder truck, and I thought, well, I don't think we needed all of this, but okay. And so I went in. I told them they weren't letting anybody through the street, so I pointed that it was my house, and so they let me come through. I came through, and when I was going into the house, the fire marshal, or I think it was a fire marshal, he had something like you would use to bust a door down. He was carrying this heavy tool with him. And so my daughter went upstairs to be with the animals. She didn't want to be downstairs. She was really, at that point, she was really, really upset by then. And so they told her, everything's okay. It's not your fault. And, you're not to blame. Don't worry, kind of thing. I need to get another color. I'm trying to see what other colors I can use. I've been using the same colors here. I think I'm going to have to go with, let's see, I think I'll go ahead and go with this one. It's a very dark blue, but it's very pretty. So anyway, the sheriff was really nice. And I was on the phone with her until the sheriff came in. And so she's like, I'm so sorry, sir. And she was crying. And she said, my cookies are on fire. So she was really, really upset that, she was upset her cookies were on fire. She was more upset about her cookies being on fire than she was about all of the smell, and the house was all smoked up. It was really bad. And so they, calmed her down, which was really nice. It was a very young sheriff that was with the one that had taken the cookies out, and he was calming her down. He got on his knees, was talking to her and explaining, everything is fine. You're safe now. We're here. We're going to take care of it. And she said, I need to go upstairs and be with my animals. And so they said, that's fine. You can go ahead and go upstairs. And she said, my mom's on the way. She'll be here, very soon. And they said that was fine. I was flying to get here. I put on my hazard lights and I thought, if I get stopped, I'm just going to tell them, sorry, I've got to get home. And so I got there and I'm like, I was going kind of fast. And I thought, well, you dummy, why did you tell that to the sheriff that's sitting here? And I said, I never speed. I said, but I had to get here. And they said, oh, it's understandable, no problem. And by the time that I'd gotten here, the cookies were already out of the oven. They were in the yard. And so the dogs were upstairs. The dog was upstairs. Cat was upstairs, locked up. They had opened some windows upstairs. So I told Paige, I said, do not let Abby out, our cat, because she would probably try to jump out the window, which is 2 stories. And that would be something else I had to worry about. Or a dog would get out and I'd have to go chase her down the neighborhood. And I said, just keep them both locked up. Do not let them out here. There's too much going on. And just the dog may get upset. I don't think she would try to bite them or anything, but they looked kind of scary with, all their gear and everything on. So they were here for a little bit. They went and got a fan that was getting some of the smoke out because you couldn't even see by the time that I had gotten home. And they couldn't even get the oven off. And so they just unplugged it. They unplugged the oven. They said it probably had something to do with the element of the oven. And then they told me that this has happened quite often around here, that they were very familiar, and they had tried to get in touch with the property manager here to get something done, and she never responded. That does not surprise me one bit. She does not respond very well. So I was just very, very thankful that Paige was okay. That was my main concern, that Paige was okay, our animals are okay, the house is fine. That was the next concern, but it was mainly, it was just Paige. I was just so, so thankful, and that she was there by the oven, and that could have been a major issue. Well, then, of course, my neighbors were all looking around, the ones that were home. And so I explained to them, what had happened. And then I had several neighbors that said that has happened to them. And I did send a message to our property manager. Of course, no response from her. And it's one of the reasons why we decided we're going to go ahead and just get a house now, not wait, because the response from property management is just absolutely horrible here. And they said they were going to have to alert property management because it's a rental. And I'm like, yeah, good. Please do. They were going to turn off the power, and they can't get to the main. There's not a main switch here. And I don't see how they can do that where there's not a main disconnect on the outside of the house or in the garage. I used to work in property management. It's been years and years ago, and they were required by the state, and it was required by law that in order to get a certificate of occupancy, they had to be able to have a main disconnect if something like this were to happen. And apparently there's not one here. So they just unplugged it, and that was the only way they could get the stupid thing to turn off, because it kept getting hotter and hotter. It just kept going up and up past the boiling point. That's why it started acting the way that it did. And so I was just thankful that I was able to contact them, and the ones that did come, they were just so kind to Paige. So it smelled pretty rough. Then I called my husband when all this was going on, and I'm like, I am home. And I said, there's a lot of commotion going on. I sent him a picture. He's like, that's in our neighborhood? And I said, yeah, it is. And didn't want to scare him, because I thought that he was driving or on his way home. He was sitting in traffic. And I told him, I said, if you're sitting in traffic and you're not moving, look really quick at the picture I sent you, and sent him all what was out here. And he said, what is going on? And I said, that's our house. And then he got really concerned. He's like, what? I'm like, I didn't want to scare you. It's our house. Everything is fine. Paige is fine. I'm fine. Animals are fine. Everything's fine. And I explained to him what happened, and he said, unplug it. I said, they already did. It's unplugged. It is not going to be plugged back up. He said, we're not using it. I don't care if they say that they fixed it. The way they fix things around there, they do not do a good job. He said that was a major electrical issue. It has to be. And he's an electrician. And so he said, we're not using it. We will let them know. Don't even put in a work order. We will tell our property manager, and they can fix it if they want to, but we don't want it plugged in while we are there. And he said, I'm going to tell her it is not going to be plugged in. So now what we're going to have to do is, in the evenings, we are going to have to go over to the house and cook dinner. I heard something, and it's UPS. I don't know if they're dropping off something here. I am expecting a couple of packages, or if they are going next door. But they're probably here, because I hear Molly barking. She doesn't like it. If they ring the doorbell, that'll make it even worse. So hopefully I can edit that out, figure something else out. Luckily, yesterday I had ordered food or our groceries. I like to go over our groceries for pickup, and then I just go and get it. And I had ordered a rotisserie chicken as part of my grocery pickup. And I did go back over to the house. Once everything was calmed down here, Paige was calmed down, I said, I've got to go back over there, because I left the lights on. I left stuff that was working on out. I also left my computer over there, and it was still on. I had to have my computer. So I went over there for just a little bit longer, and I said, I'm going to stay over there for about an hour until my grocery pickup is ready, and then I will go do that and come back home. So when I went to get my groceries, I did have rotisserie chicken. It was still hot, and it was later in the day. It was almost time for dinner. So we decided we're going to eat the rotisserie chicken, and I had baked potatoes and a salad. So yesterday was taken care of. We didn't have to go back over there. My husband was really busy with work, brought a bunch of things home. He's getting ready for an inventory for another one of his locations that he has to handle for work. And so he just really didn't have the time. And I said, we'll do that on Monday. On Tuesday, we'll go over there and we will fix what I had planned on fixing. And then one day we can order a pizza or whatever. And so he was good with that. So now I wasn't planning on boxing up the kitchen until after the movers come, which is the first week of April. So when that happens, it'll be a lot easier. But that's still a couple of weeks that we're going to have to figure out about dinner. But I absolutely refuse. I don't care if they give us a new stove. I am not going to use it. And even if they do, it'll take them forever. It has taken them 6 months to get my neighbor a dishwasher. They were not in any hurry. Another neighbor had to wait 4 months for their HVAC to be repaired, and they still didn't repair it. And they ended up getting someone from the outside to have it repaired. They ended up paying for it. I'm like, I'm not paying for a stove. We're leaving anyway. And if I was staying here, I'm not paying for appliances. We are paying way too much for this place. And it's actually more than what we're going to be paying for a mortgage. So I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. And so my husband agrees, like, we are not paying for anything for this house. We shouldn't have to. And it's a new place. That's the sad thing. It is brand new. And I don't understand, if it's brand new, how all these things happen around here, but apparently it does. We did have some horrible weather on Saturday, and we had been warned for like 2 to 3 days that we could have some really bad weather, and it was all around us. And so it wasn't supposed to hit until the evening. They kept saying around 11 o'clock, and that it may, start in, and to be prepared. And I have arthritis really bad. And I've always had this problem that whenever the weather changes, especially if it's going to rain, that my legs hurt really bad. But now it's gotten to where it's not just my legs, it's my back and my shoulders, and you name it. So I've been telling my husband, and first, when we had first started seeing each other, and we were going to have some bad weather, and I was telling him, I said, you better take an umbrella. And it was absolutely beautiful outside. And he's like, oh, come on, it's gorgeous. There's not any, bad weather in sight. And, he said, that's just crazy. And he didn't listen to me, and he went on a job that was outside that they had to do some work, and they had to cancel the job. He had to sit in his truck, and it was extremely bad weather. And so he's like, wow, I will never doubt you again on the weather. And so he even asked me on Friday, he's like, are you hurting really bad? And I said, yeah, I am. And I said, I am hurting worse than I have in a long time, and I'm really concerned about the weather because of that. And so he said, yeah, it sounds like it's going to be really bad, and we need to be prepared. So we had flashlights, and we had everything that we needed to go in this house for our safe space. And we went ahead, and we had put blankets, and it was in the laundry room. I guess that isn't really the best place if you think about it, because maybe the washer or dryer may fall on you, but it's the best place where we are for now. So we had went ahead, we put blankets in there, we had pillows, we had bike helmets. And guys, you have to understand that I am from Arkansas. I grew up in Arkansas. I went to school in Arkansas. My parents retired. They moved from Arkansas, and then they went back. So, oh gosh, I really messed that one up. I let go of my pen too soon, and now I've got drills that went wonky. But Arkansas is a state that is known for tornadoes. And we were right in smack dab of Tornado Alley. I grew up with tornadoes all around us all the time. We saw them, we heard them, we had a couple that touched down. And I am just terrified of bad weather. I absolutely hate it. The lightning and the rain, that doesn't bother me, the thunder, but it's the wind. The wind just really terrifies me. And so the wind started picking up around 7:30. We were sitting outside because it was a nice night. It wasn't raining, it wasn't doing anything. But then all of a sudden the wind started picking up and then it started lightning. And this was around, I think it was 7:30, 8 o'clock. And so my husband's like, oh, this is so cool. I want to stay out here. And he's like, it's a nice night. We can stay out and enjoy the night. I just lost some of my putty. He's like, it's a very, very nice night. We could stay out and just enjoy the evening. And it was fine until the wind picked up. And then it started lightning. And I'm like, look, I'm going in. If you want to stay out here, you are welcome to it. But I think that it is just time to go in. So I ended up going into the house, and then about 5 minutes later, it started getting pretty bad. And so he came in, and we turned the TV on, and there were tornado watches and warnings all around Alabama, Tennessee. And then I heard that Arkansas had gotten hit really hard, and I couldn't figure out where. Finally found it was in Paragould, which I knew exactly where that was, not too far from my stomping grounds when I was growing up. And so I told my husband, I said, we're going to really get some bad weather. It's not going to happen at 1 o'clock. They kept changing it to 1 o'clock or later, and I said it's not going to happen. It's going to happen before then. And so he agreed, and we sat and watched TV, and it was just windy. But all around us, all the counties around us, they were under tornado watches. And then it started getting worse here, and my husband was like, yep, we're going to be under it, soon. And we never were. And so my husband's like, okay, I'm really exhausted. And it was like 11 o'clock. And so we were trying to stay up just in case. I didn't want to go to bed, and then we would get woken up. So we ended up going to bed about 11. And I was laying there, and then finally got to sleep. And then I woke up, jumped up, and my husband is a very sound sleeper. He has a hard time hearing anyway, on certain vibrations and different things. If you're just talking to him, he can hear just fine. But if he's asleep and it's not directly at him, he can't. So I took a minute to get him up. I'm like, the sirens are going off. We've got to get up. We've got to get Paige up. Let's go. So he jumped up, and Abby, our cat, followed us. Molly was already downstairs. She was sound asleep. We had to wake her up. She likes to sleep in her crate, which isn't even closed, but she loves her crate. So we had to wake her up and get her going. So we got Paige. We all went in, or Paige and I and the animals went into our safe place. And I told Paige, I said, it's okay. I had to, calm her down because she was really nervous and she had just woken up. So that didn't help matters either. And I am really calm during a crisis. That's one thing I can definitely say about me. My mother wasn't, but I've always been just really calm. And I've had to learn to be especially calm after I had kids, because Madison had really high anxiety and she was always really scared of storms. And so is Paige. Madison's gotten better now. She's gotten older and living on her own. But I was trying to be really careful with what I was saying to Paige and told her everything is fine. It's just, precaution. So Dave was he was looking outside. He was in our living room, had the TV on. And he said, looking at the radar, there's nothing over in our area. But he said, where we used to live, they're being hammered. And he said, I think they've spotted a tornado there. And he said, I think that we're okay. They're not even saying anything on the news. And then they did say that, if you're in the area that we're in, that we are under, watch, and just to be careful. And so he never came in to where we were. But he said, y'all just stay there. If I need to, I can run in there really quickly. I want to watch the news. And so we were in there. We were getting hot in this room because there's no ventilation where we were. And then Molly was out walking around. Abby was sitting in between us. And so finally we got out, but it was storming really bad. And as long as it's storming and, it's make you hear noises, it's when it gets quiet, when the wind stops and it is just dead silence. That's when you got to worry. So my husband said he was going to stay up for a little bit. He said, if you want to go back to bed, I can let y'all know. And I said, do you honestly think that after all of this, I can go to sleep right now? So Paige was up for a little bit. She was about to pass out. She was so sleepy. At this point, it was around 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. And so we did get her to go back to sleep. And Dave's like, I promise, if there's a problem, I will wake you up. No worries. I'm going to. So we ended up, the two of us ended up going to sleep. It was about 2:15 and everything had calmed down. But almost every city that was even within 100 miles from us was under some kind of warning or a watch. And then it downgraded in our area just to a severe thunderstorm. And so we ended up going to bed and ended up, even Molly, who gets me up usually about 7 on the weekends, she even slept in on Sunday. And so I told my husband, I said, I am not going to church. I'm just going to watch it on screen. I'm just going to stream it. And so he said, yeah, let's just do that. And that's going to be better. We don't want to get out in this. And there was a lot of, downs, power lines. Luckily, we had power. We never lost power. That's the one good thing about this area where we are, is that I was surprised because it's a new area, and I figured, we're going to lose power over here really easily, and who knows when it's going to come back on, because there's not any other houses really in this area, one little subdivision, and that's it. So I figured if we lose power, we're going to be one of the last ones on the grid that is going to have it restored, and we're at the end of the line. That's what my husband was telling me. So we didn't lose power. That was really good. But if you had some bad storms, I feel for you, because it was just awful here. And that's really all that's happened. That's a lot that's happened with us for the week. That's enough. I didn't need anything else. It was a very dramatic, very, very busy week for us. And diamond painting related, I do have 2 more rows that I mentioned completed on Dragon Seasons, which I'm really happy about. I'm enjoying this one, but the fall took me a long time. It was a lot of confetti, which I love, but I also didn't spend as much time as I should have in the fall to get this done. And sad thing is, I counted fall because I was over halfway finished with fall last year, and I didn't want to count fall in with this year's count, because I was over on fall, or I thought that I was. Fall, I think, is a little bit larger than the other ones. Maybe not, but it sure seems like it. And I didn't count that as last year. So the time that I have spent this year working on fall, I am not counting in my hours, because I counted that section. I didn't count the hours because I don't count hours, or didn't last year. I am now. So I lost those hours for this year, and that's okay, because I kind of cheated and counted this as last year. If I knew that I had as much left on fall, I should have looked at it and looked to see how I thought if it was really going to be a lot of confetti or color blocking. I probably shouldn't have counted it as last year, but it's okay. So I am counting the winter, which I'm working on now. And I'm hoping to get this finished. I don't think it's going to be finished by the end of March, but it will be finished in April, early part of April. Just with everything going on and the move and everything, I wasn't really anticipating that. So with the move, it's going to take me a little bit longer than I thought for this one, but I can count winter. So that will be completed sometime in April. And I have 2 rows left on my Dreamer Designs on my White Christmas. I do want to get back to that one and get that one finished. That will be completed either in April or May because I do want to focus on my Josephine wall in April. And with Josephine wall, I have unboxed it with you guys and showed you the drills and how I'm going to get started with the kit up. I have started filming the kit up. It is taking a hot minute to get that done. I don't know if I will be able to unbox kit up all 200 colors with you guys because that's going to take a very long time. As I mentioned, I started working on it. I have recorded several parts of it and just started with the kit up process. And that one is very heavy on static. It is just full of static, and it's been sitting since 2022. So you would think that the static wouldn't be as bad. Maybe that's why the static is bad, because it's been sitting so long. But their baggies, I've taken the time to open all the baggies up, and I have put dryer sheets in each one of them, and I've even used static guard. Hopefully that by the time that I get ready to get back to filming and to kitting that one up, that the static won't be like it is now. If it's as bad as it is or was when I go to film again, I don't know if it's going to be worth it for me to show the kit up process. I can do some of it, but then also the rest of it, I will just do it and then I can show you guys. So let me know what you think about that. Do you want to see the entire kit up process of all 200 colors, or just to see how I do it, the start of it, explain it, and then show you the end result? So let me know what you would like to see. Hopefully I will be able to see your comments before I get started back. So that one will be coming up. I really want to get it kitted up so I can get started on it. I'm really looking forward to starting on it, and I can't until I get it kitted up. I'd like to start on it before our event starts because it's going to take me a while to get that one done. But that's going to be one of my projects for the year. I'm definitely going to show more videos with that J wall. And for those of you that aren't familiar, that is a Josephine wall. And that is going to be we're doing an event hosted by Kimba's Crafts and myself. We have some wonderful, amazing sponsors that I'm going to be sharing with you guys shortly. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. There's going to be some discount codes that will be offered to you guys. The one with the diamond art is already offering a discount code, and that is JWall25. It's not 2025, it's JWall25. I'll put that information below. You still have time to order. With Diamond Painting Deutschland, we do not have a code. They are a sponsor. They did not give us a code. If you're going to order from Diamond Painting Deutschland, that's something that you probably want to do soon, because it depends on where you live, but it usually takes, when I had ordered in the past, 2 to 3 weeks for it to come in. maybe over a month. So you may want to think about that. They don't have any in stock, so they have to order them. So it could even take longer. But you can also look in D-stashes if you would like to do a cross stitch or cross stitch conversion. Feel free to do that as well. I've not done a cross stitch conversion of a Josephine wall. I want to eventually. It is on my bucket list, but it's not something that I plan on doing anytime soon. And that would be even next year. I don't plan on it, but I want to eventually do one. But I have to get better at a cross stitch conversion before I even think about doing that, because I don't think I'm quite ready for all of that confetti with a cross stitch conversion. I think that's going to be a lot. That one, be on the lookout for my J-Wall update. I have a completion of Garden Girl. I completed her very early in March. Came out really, really cute. I have not done a completion post and a kit down on that one. I really would like to get to that this week if I possibly can, because that way I can go ahead and get those containers put on my shelf at the new house. I'm trying to decide how many containers that I really do need and exactly how many that I have at this point, because I did give some away when we moved here. There were some that I never used, so I didn't see any point in bringing them here and then taking them to the other house either. So that's something I need to check into, but I am looking forward to sharing my completion with you guys. I did purchase 2 more paint gems to add to my collection. For the most part, I think I have over 75% of theirs. I did not collect from the beginning with them, and so now I am picking up a couple when they're on sale here and there. And Paint Gem, I just ordered it and it's already shipped and should be here soon. So I was impressed with that. And I did order an Orloa because I'm getting low on Orloas. I've been working on so many. I did order another Orloa. They only have the one mini kit, and I've already completed that one. But I ordered Orloa, and it is also on the way. It should be here like tomorrow, and that's only 4 days since I ordered. So I'm really impressed with them as well. So I need to have an unboxing on that one. I'm in no hurry on that one, though. I don't know when I'll get to it, but that's something else that I need to do. And what? Oh, did you guys order anything from the 25 new releases of Diamond Art Club for their Princess diamond paintings? I looked at them and I didn't order anything. I thought that the one called The Parade, that was Winnie the Pooh, I thought that one was really cute. It brought a lot of nostalgia, memories from my childhood, because my grandparents and I used to watch Winnie the Pooh together. And I thought about getting that one. And the background, all that white, didn't even bother me. I thought, oh, that's cute. It was a large one. It sold out really fast. I ended up not even trying to get it, but I was surprised at how fast that it sold out. And I guess I shouldn't have been surprised because, it is Winnie the Pooh, it's Disney. But I did not order any of the others. I thought about Ariel, and I thought these are really cute, but I'm not going to get to these anytime soon. And I don't need to keep adding to my stash when I'm trying to work on my stash. I don't want to de-stash anything. Currently I don't. Now when I'm going through and when I'm moving my diamond paintings, if I see something that I'm like, I don't know if I really want this, if I'm ever going to work on this, I may go ahead at that point and say, okay, I'm willing to destash this, but right now I don't want to destash anything, and I really don't need to add. I need to really focus on getting some of those diamond paintings finished, and that's my goal for this year too. Right now I'm not doing so hot on my goals because I've only completed Garden Girl, I completed the cat, and I completed the paint the Orloa mini. I'm almost finished with the one of the minis, the mini dazzlers, and I will show you guys that. So I'll be kitting that one down soon. And then I want to kit up Spring Mini Dazzle because that's one of the ones that I also had gotten I ordered from Diamond Art Club. So I want to get that done. And then with the two new ones coming in from Paint Gym, and on Paint Gym, one was veggies. And I thought, that looks really cute, but I don't know if I really want veggies. I don't know if that's something that I would really get, but then I'm trying to get all of them. So I thought, okay, may not be really crazy about the veggies. It's probably going to be really cute once I see it. Then I'll definitely want to do it. I have not purchased the alphabet one yet from Paint Gym, and I'm kind of surprised that I hadn't purchased that, but it's going to be a lot, and it's a lot of repetition, which that's okay too. I will get that one on my next time that I order. I'm going to get that one in addition to whatever new comes out. And they hadn't come out with anything new for a while, so I figured they would come out with something, and they may come out with something faster now. I don't know. I have no idea, but that's something coming up that I'll definitely want to share with you guys. And I don't usually unbox until I want to work on a diamond painting. I usually will unbox it, and then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, then I will go ahead and diamond paint it. But I've heard from some people that have had issues with just various companies, not just one in particular, but various companies on ordering something. They ordered it in, say, square, it came in round, or it was something that it said it was that particular kit. They opened it up, no, it was something else. And that has happened to me before with Diamond Art Club, that I opened it, but it wasn't incorrectly in the box. The box did state what it was, and it wasn't what I ordered. And Diamond Art Club corrected it immediately. But if something's been sitting for a very long time, I don't know what that policy is. I don't know if that's like, well, too bad, you should have looked, and they would be correct. Yeah, I should have already looked, but I didn't. That's not what I normally do. So let me know what you guys do. Do you go ahead and open any new diamond paintings that you get just to make sure that everything is there, all the drills are correct? Or do you usually just wait and you will open it whenever you are ready to diamond paint? Curious minds want to know. I'm just very, very curious about that. Okay, so that is done. I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I've been talking for a very long time, but there was just so much going on, and also a lot going on in my diamond painting life too, which has been kind of unusual lately. But I hope that you have an enjoyable rest of your week. If you have not subscribed, I would love to have you here. Just click on that subscribe button. Also click on the notification bell so you are notified of future uploads. And if you like this video, please click on that like button, and that definitely helps. And love to read your comments or even your emojis. I have found that just looking at emojis have been a lot of fun as well. And I am so sorry that Molly has been barking quite a bit. I'm going to try my very best to edit as much of that out. They're doing a lot of construction around here, and I think she is still very nervous from yesterday. She is very skittish, and her anxiety is pretty high. So hopefully I can get the dog calmed down and we will have a good rest of our day. Thanks so much. And until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.